you reach a goal, then it wasn't big enough. So you have to push the boundary a little bit more.
And still, the IBF welterweight champion of the world, Natasha, Jonas.
And I was thinking, wow, I'm 20. If I was going to be like a sports person, I'd already be it by now. And I was injured and I was going to take a year to recover. And now looking back, I do think that I was maybe going through depression and didn't recognise because it wasn't really a thing back then.
Natasha Jonas is getting better with each fight with the quality of her punching. This is fantastic work she's putting on as well.
Good evening, guys and girls. Welcome to the second episode of the D-Wing. Like I said before, it's not just a podcast, this is a journey. And on tonight's show, we've got who happens to be my best female mate, Natasha Jonas. Natasha Jonas is a multi-weight world champion boxer from Liverpool. I'll let you introduce yourself. Hello, Tash.
I was just going to say the best city in the world.
All right, it is the best city in the world, and it's my favourite city in the world. We're going to discuss some about your childhood this evening, about your career, where it started, the football, and where you are now, because you are a world record holder, because you were the first English boxer to fight in the Olympics, and you are the first black female manager in England, boxing manager. So can you tell me a little bit about your childhood, please?
The childhood? Oh gosh, how far back do you want to go? We come from our family's massive. 2 Jonas was born every year. There's millions of us that all lived in my nan's. My mum was a very young mum, and I had 2 older boy cousins that I absolutely adored, in Ollie and Harris, and yeah, they were my brothers really, even though they're not. And I did everything that they did, and being with boys, you kind of just do the things that boys do, climb trees, play footy, get into trouble,
Smash windows.
Yeah, of course, and climb the nursery roof was our thing. So that's what I did. So yeah, I've always been comfortable around boys, never felt out of place, and I've always had to fight my way. I remember playing the first time I remember being allowed around the corner. Now, there's a big park at the back of my nan's, and we were playing footy, and they said, you know what lads are like? Lads like, choose the best mates. Choose the best players and then choose the best mates. And I was the little girl around the corner for the first time. So I was the last one picked, and I was fuming because I knew I was a better footy player than Al Harris by a million miles. And when I was the last one picked, I was fuming. I was like, no, that's never going to happen again. And by a couple of times going round, I was getting to be one of the first ones picked.
And what position did you play?
Left wing.
Left wing, so you're left footer?
I'm naturally left-footed, and I was quite fast back in my day, and I was always quite strong as well, to be fair.
Where did you go to school?
I went to primary school in Smithdown Primary. It's called Smithdown now. It was called Chatsworth Primary at the time. And then I went over the water to Weatherhead.
Yeah, I know about this. Why did you go over the water? What made you go over the water?
Gosh, there was just a lot of tension in Liverpool at the time. There was, I don't want to name the school, it's changed now, and Liverpool's changed as a city, but there was a lot of black and white tension. And my cousins that were going to the older cousins that went, they was literally having murders on the school bus, and if you were a certain colour, you couldn't cross past the road, or when you did, there was always just aggro. And the same the other way round, they couldn't cross this side of the road. So going to that school, you had to cross that side of the road, or the borderline of what became, known as Liverpool 8 and then Park Road, even though it's all L8 and Toxteth. There was the little borders. And by the time I came to go to senior school, my older cousin was being suspended. The one above that was expelled. So we were almost like, yeah, there's not a chance you're going to that school.
Yeah, so when did you start playing football?
It started playing around the corner. Progressed in primary school. And just, I started when I moved over to the water. The school didn't have a team. I tried to make my own team. within the school. But then, we didn't always have enough players. So then I joined a local team. And then from that local team, got spotted by Liverpool and then got spotted by England. And I had trials and stuff. And that progressed into going to uni and getting a scholarship in America.
Wow, that's mad. And where did the football change and come to boxing? Or was you in karate first because you come from a well-known karate family?
Yeah, every single Jonas has to go. Even my little girl goes to karate now. Everyone's got to go through Uncle Harris. That's the rites of passage. So we all did karate. I did karate till I was about 15. Literally every single day I had something on. So it wasn't karate, it was Thai boxing, then it was football, then it was netball, then it was rounders, athletics. I literally had something every day of the week. I wasn't really like a girly sports kind of person. I was a bit of a tomboy, so I liked all the
rough and tumble.
The rough, yeah. And like I said, I was always comfortable. I think lads was just easier to get along with. Maybe because grew up with lads that you kind of know where you stand with lads. With girls, the relationships are a little bit harder and a bit more complex than
a bit bitchy.
Yeah, and I wasn't used to that. So when I went to an all-girls school, I'm from Toxteth in Liverpool. From it's when I went to school, it was predominantly black. And there was I could count on one hand how many white kids were in my class. But when I went to senior school, it was me and Chantal Skeets were the only two black people, and Rebecca Green actually were the only three black people in the school. It's
mad that. So now the tension between Park Road and all that, I know that you've got plenty of fans over Park Road.
Yeah, and like I say,
and plenty of friends.
Yeah, Liverpool's changed. Even the rotunda, we would never go past town. There was literally borders that you knew where you were safe and where was okay to go and where you was pushing it and where you definitely didn't go. And the rotunda, we're talking, 30 odd years ago, that was a place I would never ever have ventured. But obviously everything changes. People spread out and spread the wings, and the dynamics of the city changed.
And that's where you started your boxing career in the Rotunda, innit?
Yeah.
When you started there, was the Smith brothers already there?
Yeah, they've been. I've literally known Callum and Liam since they were in their early teens, and Paul and Stephen were a little bit older. Stephen had just got on the kind of GB squad, so he was away a lot at the time. Paul had just won the Commonwealth, I think, so he was away with that team a lot of the time. So yeah, I trained with Callum and Liam a lot more, but Stephen used to come back and spar. The only Smith brother I haven't been punched by is Paul. I sparred all the others.
And how did you get along? How did you do in sparring them brothers?
I mean, gosh, I can't even lie. I got beat up, but it made me better.
It made you tougher.
Yeah, it made me better, and I think at that time there was no other girls to spar. I wasn't a kid. I was 21 when I started, so I'm a grown woman coming into not a brand new sport, but it was new. It was still in the development stages. Jane was on your podcast last week. She's the woman that started it all and kicked down the door so we could all come through after it. But it was still in its infancy, and I knew of 3 other girls in Liverpool that boxed.
I don't think Jane gets her flowers, but I know you always give her flowers, because the night that you on your last fight, obviously I'm always there round about ringside, jumping over fences and things like that.
Security.
And when I seen Jane come out with the belt, I went cold, because she was the first woman to interview me. About 13 years, I went really cold inside, and it was most of one of the maddest moments of my life to see her come out, and then you being in Bezzy behind her. You didn't even tell me.
Yeah.
You usually let me know kind of roundabout what's happening. You didn't even tell me that's what's going to happen. How did it come about you chose Jane?
I've always said Jane obviously was the pioneer of it all. I think you know, other people get credit for it, but it wasn't. It wasn't. We get credit for it, but it wasn't us. Especially not in this country. And she's always been very supportive of me and my career. I have known Jane literally since, I think that the first time I met her, Robin Deacon was fighting in Liverpool. I can't remember who was fighting. It was a small hall show in Greenbank. And I think that was, I just won a medal in the EU Championship. So I think that was 2007, 2008. And ever since then, like, she interviewed me on a podcast when she had them. She had like a little boxing channel that she interviewed me a couple of times as an amateur. She always has sent me a message like, good luck, what's your tactics? You know, this is what I think, this is, and we will always go back and forth. And she's always been very supportive in my career, and I appreciated it. And I wanted to show that in some way. And I think it was just a nice touch.
Yeah, it was really nice of you to do that night when you was fighting that. All our hearts was in our mouth, and I think Jay wanted to jump in at one point. But where do you see yourself going from? Now I know you've got 4 belts, 2 different weights. Can you tell me about the belts, please?
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I've won the first one against Namas in the Amir Khan undercard, which was literally last chance saloon. It was me 3rd attempt at a 3rd different weight at a world title. So if I lost, there was nowhere to go. But I also needed a belt to have a bit of leverage to box. I knew I was never a 154 fighter. I've boxed as light as super feather, which is 130. But I knew that was too light. So yeah, it was just, I had to go in and win, and I did.
When you took a scalp, I was thinking you could have took Amir Khan that night. There was nothing stopping you that night.
100%. Like I said, it was literally, that was career ending if I'd have lost. So there was no other thing, but I had to win. Then I was trying to look for other fights and go down, because like I said, my intentions were never to stay. And opportunities just kept on presenting themselves at 154. There was a Liverpool card. The Brackhouse and Bergel fight had fell through. So Brackhouse, who had the WBC, became available. So we were like, Ben was like, do you want another fight at 154? I was like, yeah, let's do it. Obviously went and won that. So then I became the WBC champion. And then the care, I don't know what had gone on, but it was, I think it was 8 weeks between Bergelt and the care, the fight. And she'd said, she'd popped up and started like having back and forths and saying, I want her next, and she's not a true 154. So then I ended up fighting the care, and I won with the care, I won the IBF and the Ring magazine. Yeah, so means you're number 1 in the division, because she was the number 1 at the time and I was the number 2. And then obviously then the opportunity came to go back down. I fought Candy Wyatt, won. There was a back and forth between me and Michaela Meyer. We'd half sorted out our fight between us live on telly, I think.
Yeah, you always, you never back down a challenge. But tell me this, Tash, because we're besties and all that, yeah? Why do you put me through it? The conversation we had, I'm going to win a world title and then I'm going to retire. Did you not say that to me?
Joe says it all the time, but you know what it is with me? If you reach a goal and you've reached it, then it wasn't big enough. So you have to push the boundary a little bit more.
I know, but you give me blood pressure.
I do it to myself.
You give me, oh God, I have palpitation. It's like the last fight, not this last fight. The last fight at the Echo Arena. Is it the M&S Arena now? You come to see us out your hotel, like before you was fighting, and you were just so relaxed. I'm thinking, I'm kind of shaking, thinking, how the fuck are you so relaxed? What makes you so relaxed?
I think the confidence in your camp, just the way I train my brain. I'm still learning about myself and about the way my mind works. And every camp, there's something else. There's another book that I read or whatever. I'm constantly learning, because I think the mind and how you use it is the most powerful thing you have. And as long as your mind's with you, then anything is possible, because it can either be your biggest asset or it can be to your detriment. So if you've got to make it work with you to be successful.
So where are we going from here, Tash? Where are we going from
Taking over
here?
the world.
You've already achieved what everybody thought you couldn't achieve. So what's? I'm not even going to ask you what's next or where you're going, because you tell me one thing and then you won't
So yeah,
stick to it.
I've been saying it to me last year since 2012. This is my last year in boxing. Been literally since
13 years later.
I'm still here.
So what do you think's next?
I
Have you
think
got anything in the pipeline?
potentially there's not unsigned, sealed, delivered, but I see the rumours. Sometimes I have to correct the rumours because some people sometimes think they know more than you, and it doesn't annoy me, but I think you need to put it in your place a little
Yeah,
bit.
some people have been put in a place lately, haven't they? in the female boxing. I don't want to mention names because I don't want clickbait and I don't want people to get above themselves, you know. But there's some people that have been beaten and they was given a draw and things like that, and they've had like a
Don't know what you're talking about.
They've had like certain promoters behind them, but I don't want to give them no airwave. So going on to the management side of things, how many fighters are you managing at the moment?
I have recently just acquired another one, which is to be announced soon. But I've got one in Mikey Talon.
Oh my God, how beautiful of a
Babyface. I
human
know.
is it?
He's little baby face.
There's a fighter called Mikey Talon. He's won everything in the amateurs. First time I met him, I was going into a school with Tasha, and Tasha comes to schools with me. She helps me out with the kids, and Mikey turned up. I thought, this
One of
guy,
the students.
and this is a primary school we went to. But yeah, so long term, is that what you're looking at? Management?
Essentially, yeah. I think I just like to. I didn't know when I got into boxing what boxing would look like for me. I thought getting a rotunda top would be the best that I can get. And then, I went to the ABAs, won them, and then got an England top. And then 2009, it comes about that it's going to be in the Olympics. I go on assessments, and then I get a GB top. And then, I retire from GB, go pro, and then I don't know what that's going to look like. And I end up being a world champion. So I never know what doors are going to open. But what I do is take every opportunity that comes my way. And America didn't work out for me. I got injured, had to come home, and that was the end of my footy career. But at least I can sit here now and say, I tried it and it didn't work. I'd hate to be sitting here now saying I had that opportunity and I didn't take it. That'd hurt me more. So I do all mad things. I talk in schools. I do motivational things. I work within the community. I'm on parliamentary groups. Who ever thought I'd be in Parliament speaking, about, the development of women's sport and the development of boxing, to MPs. And I've been.
It's mad, isn't it?
It's mad.
It's mad.
Never
I've
thought
been
I'd be
to
there.
Parliament. I've spoken in Parliament, and it's mad having my background. And when kids say that they can't achieve anything, and everybody knows I've been to jail, they say they can't get this job, and I'm living proof that you can do anything you want. But it's not about me. Going on about this little madam of a daughter of yours.
Oh,
what
gosh.
would you think? What would you think if she told you she wanted to get into boxing?
She does. She goes to Rotunda.
I didn't know that. I know that she does karate.
Yeah, she's so we went to right there, I'm gonna cough. Excuse me. So we went to Thailand, and she's never been interested in my boxing. She loves watching Mikey, actually. She loves watching Mikey. But every time I take her to the boxing, she's like, oh, do we have to be here? Like, make her sit still is hard work. It's literally impossible. After like 2-3 fights, she's like, yeah, I'm walking around the ring, looking at the judges, talking to this one, annoying the medical staff, doing whatever. But we went to Thailand, and you have these like cars that drive around and say, tonight at the arena is going to be a fight between such and such. She's like, Mum, can we go and watch it? I was like, yeah, of course. We're on holiday. We've got nothing else to do. Why not? So he goes and goes into the arena. We're quite near to the ring. And she's sitting there and she's like that the whole time. I was like, wow. And then she's like, Mum, I really like that. I was like, oh, okay. And she goes, you know your gym before Joe's? And I went to Rotunda. She went, yeah. She went, how old do you have to be to go there? I said, you have to be 10, but, they'll let you train before that because you're my daughter, you know, you can be 8 when you go. She was like, okay. So then the next day she wakes up and she goes, Mum, I think I want to go to the Rotunda when I get back. I said, okay, well, I've messaged Mikey and let him know. Mikey's the head coach, Mikey Albo. she goes, and I thought, we had another week of holiday. I thought she'll forget about it. When we got home, she was like, did you message him? Can I go? I was like, it's all right, we'll just turn up. She was like, no, Mum, message him. I said, okay, message him. And then took her along. So that was February. She's been going every Monday, Wednesday since February.
I don't think you most probably, a lot of you have seen Natasha on Instagram and the pictures and things like that. Her daughter she's just something else. Honestly,
My mum says that, but for all different reasons.
She's just something else. I don't want to go into too much personal stuff about ordering stuff on her phone and buying herself go shopping on your phone and things like that.
She is. I might be a world champion, but I'm not even the boss of my own house. She's the boss.
But remember last time when we was walking out of Mikey's last fight and she went like that, more champions, more presents, win more belts, I get more presents.
When every fight she goes, Mum, are we going on holiday? I'm like, damn, I've created that monster.
I know, but she's a lovely little girl. I just seen at weekend she won a gold, didn't she?
Yeah,
at gymnastics.
A gold and a
bronze.
2 bronze, yeah. She was fuming though because last time she won more golds, so she was like, Mum, not happy about that.
Do you think she gets a winning mentality from you or from all your family? Because
definitely the whole family is competitive from top to bottom, even like me nan.
I know that. I know that.
From top to bottom, everything we do in our family is a competition. From, you know, when you can walk, it's like, go and get that. No, I'm not getting it. 1, 2, the kids will run and go and get it. And they'll all scamper and fight to go and get it and be the one to bring it back and be like, look, I won. So that's drilled into us from little. It probably, I think obviously my nan's generation's a little bit different, but it definitely stems from my mum's generation and the aunties and uncles, and they've all been very successful in anything that they've done and put their mind to. Aris represented England, Paul being a professional bodybuilder, and my mum was always active. She's still active now. She's like the most active 50, she'll kill me if I get it wrong, 5-year-old on the planet.
Tash, can I just mention, someone was kind enough to send us some tops, and I asked you, could we wear them? Do you think boxing's helped you conquer mental health issues? Or have you ever suffered from any mental health? I know you deal with people that have mental health issues. You help me. You help me more than every. What do you think about mental health and boxing?
There's loads of times. Well, not loads. There's one specific time in my life that, now looking back, I do think that I was maybe going through depression and didn't recognise, because it wasn't really a thing back then. And I think when I was told that the footy was over, like at that time, when I came back home, I think Beth Treadle had just won her first Commonwealth gold and she was like 15. Wayne Rooney had just signed for Everton. He was 16. And I was thinking, wow, I'm 20. If I was going to be like a sports person, I'd already be it by now. And I wasn't. I was injured and I was going to take a year to recover. And that was the first time in my life that I stopped doing everything. I thought, right, I'm just going to have to go and get a job and do what everybody else does. That's how I'm going to have to survive. That's going to be my life now. And in that year, it was a horrendous year. And there was lots going on outside of the family. Things were just happening, events were going on. And I kind of fell into traps that I always promised myself I wouldn't. Like, people always stereotype you because I'm black, because I'm a woman, because I'm from Toxteth, because, you know, whatever it is, you know, they've always stereotyped who I can be, how far I can go, how big I can become, who I can become. And I've, like, unknowingly, I've always told myself, and to be fair, my family has always told me that I can be better. And for that first time ever, I fell into them traps, and I disappointed myself. And it took for a huge event to happen where I was like, this is not where I want to be. Like, this is not, like, I'm not doing anyone any justice. I'm not giving, it's not positive. I'm only going to end up in 2 ways. and I didn't want to end up in any of them ways. So I had to change what I was doing, and I was Uncle Aris that I said, can I just have your keys and train in the gym, in his little karate gym? And you know, the studio's got a few free weights, a couple of bars and a bag, and I just go there, hit it. And at the time it was in a different place, and the woman who lived over the road knew him because she'd done karate with him years ago, but had just started her coaching courses in the Rotunda. And she used to see me going in and out, and she used to like knock over and be like, why you all, like, who are you? I was like, oh, I'm Harris's niece. She's giving me a set of keys. She was like, why are you always training by yourself? And I was like, oh, it's just trying to get myself back into doing something. I've got no job at the minute, and blah, 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 blah. And she was like, come to the Rotunda. And for months and months, I just fobbed it off. I was like, yeah, I'll come next week, and didn't go because I was just in a rut. I'd had 7 jobs that year. I'd been fired from every single one of them. I was fine dancing out of work on the Friday. Then I'd party all weekend. Monday I'd phone and I'd be sick, and you know, I couldn't come in, and it'd make me make phone in and all that. So it, you know, there's only so many times you can do that before it becomes a pattern. And yeah, eventually she bugged me that much that I thought, right, just to shut this woman up, I'm going to go. And that was, like I say, nearly 20 years ago, and I've never looked back since.
That's mad, that talking about your Uncle Harris and his gym and all that. I went there before I come here this evening, and he was pointing at the picture of you up there, and I noticed he's got some frame shorts.
Oh, aye. Yeah, no.
He was kind of like trying to wrestle me not to take them away. Just a little break. Anything else? Pardon? No, we can't speak about finger. Oh yeah. All right then.
Everyone's favourite.
Joe Gallagher. It's mad. Speaking about Joe, Mark's been with him this afternoon, and we have a friend from Base Security, so it kind of like sponsors some of the stuff we do. And yeah, he was with Joe this afternoon. How's your relationship with Joe?
Yeah, me and Joe get on like a house on fire. Joe reminds me so much of my amateur coach, Mick McAllister. Like, they're very, very similar. And I remember Mick, after I'd already joined Joe, and I went back and I was speaking to him about boxing and stuff, because I still keep in contact with him. He said, if I'd have chose a coach for you, I'd have chose Joe. And I said, he's very much like you. And he said, yeah, I know.
It's mad because my family go a long way back with Joe. My cousin used to be in a boxing squad with Joe.
Oh, in the Chaps camp?
No, before that.
Oh, okay.
Before that, I don't know if it was in Wivenshaw.
Oh, yeah,
Jimmy
Egan's. Yeah.
Yeah, my cousin used to box with Joe alongside
Clark's
dad.
Yeah.
And Big Jimmy Kelly.
Okay.
Yeah, so what about promoters? I know Ben. I've become kind of close to Ben. What's your thoughts on Ben on Boxer? Do you think he's the only promoter that is really interested in women boxers?
I think everyone's got their ulterior motives of why they have female boxers. I'm not saying that's Ben. I think what's good, I will say, is that broadcasters are requesting that any TV promoters have female fighters as part of their stable and as part of the card, which has come such a long way since Jane's day. So yeah, broadcasters are requesting. There's a big women's movement on at the moment, and we see it on Sky, particularly with football, with rugby, with cricket. And what else have we got? Football, cricket, rugby, with boxing, obviously. But there's a big drive at the minute. We've got the netball, that it has to be seen on screen, and for it to develop and grow to get to us to the position of the same like position as the men's, then we need that kind of, we need to be
exposure.
visible. Yeah, we need to be visible. But then once you are visible, then you can request that like money that the men can request, because they're seen on screen and they're high up in the cards, and they're respected as the athlete they are, not just maybe because of whatever reason.
How do you like commentating?
The commentary, like I said, I'd like to think that I'm quite well respected as a commentary. I try and be as respectfully honest as I can, give a little bit of insight of how maybe the boxer sees it, feels, but and be technical, but not too technical as in to confuse people. But you get the best. You get the best seats in the house, commentating on what you know in all the biggest fights. So, you know that Clark Wardley fight at the weekend just gone is the best fight I've seen live, and I don't say that lightly. It literally Liam Smith, Chris Eubank, the first one is the best atmosphere I've ever been in. But that Clark Wardley is the best fight I've ever seen live.
I was there with you. I was there with you. Do you think commentary's long-term goal of yours, or would you like to branch out into something else?
No, I think that was always the idea. I was supposed to retire, and then the idea was to, you know, grow and become a presenter, and that'll be like a multi-sports kind of presenter. But I haven't retired yet, so I've stuck to the boxing. And
have you got any other presenting jobs or goals along the way in the near future?
I haven't got any lined up again, but I've done stuff with the BBC. I've done stuff with the radio. I'd love to do the Olympics. There's quite a lot of the team I know. So I'd love to do the Olympics with the BBC. Maybe not be sent, but it's only Paris, so maybe they would send you. But I've done a lot of the last Olympics and the championships with Ron McIntosh for the BBC.
I know a lot of people know that your sister plays for Man United, which is a big no-no in your eyes, but obviously very supportive of her. Would you like to commentate on a game that she's playing in? Do you think you could do that?
I don't know if I could be subjective, because you have got to kind of step back, and even with the Wardley Clark, I've known Fraser since 2009.
I know, we had this conversation.
So it's a very long, and I really like Wardley. I think Wardley, for me, is one of our most improved boxers. But I obviously wanted Fraser to win. So I think, I do think that's why Sky took me off, and they've done it before where I've said, like, I don't really want to commentate. I think it might have been Smith, Eubank. I don't really want to commentate on my friends, because it's hard. It's hard to say, well, actually, you know, they're not doing very well, and you've got that interpersonal relationship with them. You know what I mean? But no, it's definitely commentating something that I definitely love, and I want to progress in and do well.
Are you proud of what you've achieved, or do you want to achieve more?
There's always room to improve. There's like, and you know what's scary about it is that once boxing goes, you're gonna have to find a new goal, and that's I think that's what plagues people about leaving, because you've got to fill the void, and you've got to fill it positively, and it's hard to do because everyone's addicted to the high of chasing the high of winning. So to fill that positively is hard. But yeah, I always set goals, and I always do my best endeavours to achieve them, and that'll never change. That's the athlete, and that's the person who I am. Like, I don't want to just, once you've stayed still and stagnant, you're not really moving anywhere, are you? I like to grow and develop, and if that's not in boxing, in skill wise, then maybe that'll be in presenting, and maybe that'll be, you know, in Parliament, whatever. I'm not saying I'm going to be an MP, by the way, but you know, that's what I mean. I just want to grow and develop, and I don't know my potential, because it's limitless. My potential's when I say it's the end of my potential. So
the sky, the space is your potential.
Exactly.
Can I get an exclusive of you when you start your next fight camp?
I don't know. I know that I'm going to enjoy myself at the races this weekend.
Are you?
This week, yeah.
Are we out at weekend?
Where
I'm out on Saturday, but I don't really support them kind of places, you know. But we got to support our boy Michael Gomez. But
okay, yeah.
You know, I don't support them.
Yeah, no.
So we out on Saturday.
I'm out. I'm an ambassador for Aintree now. That's what I mean. It opens doors. I'm an ambassador for Aintree and the Jockey Club, so I'm there Friday at Ladies' Day.
I might see you on Friday. It's actually my mum's birthday on Friday.
Oh, bless.
So yeah, I might see you. Can I just say thank you to the twins as always, TWINZZ, who's always looking after me. Thanks to Buzz Rocks, Jamaican restaurant in Hume.
Can I take this?
Yeah, that's for you.
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
Sweet.
that's for you, Marcus, said to say hello. So, yeah, we drinks, food, and whatever. He always looks after us. Thanks for base security. Thanks for it's okay not to be okay. Guys, can I just hit home how important it is to take care of your mental health? Always speak up, speak out. It's okay not to be okay and talk about it. Can I just say thanks for Natasha, Jonas? She should be knighted. She should be honoured. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your professionalism, and thanks for everything you do for me personally and people that I work with. Thanks for sparing your time, even though you're always late. You're always
Jamaica
late.
time. I'm on Jamaica time.
She's on Jamaica time, but she's in Liverpool. Thanks for the team. Let's get the D-Wing podcast out there again. It's like I said, it's not just a podcast, it's a journey. We're all on a journey, and thanks for sharing this journey with me.